Okay, so for that floating action button, that is going to be interactive. First, let's close all these tabs. And that is going to be interactive because we need click event on that. So what we'll do inside this client project in layout on interactive main layout. This is the layout for dashboard, my links and link detail page. So we'll add that here somewhere. So let's do this. In layout, let's create a new razor component. We'll say, let's say fab floating action button dot razor, and here we are going to have some markup. All right. So we are going to say, let's say div class fab. We'll have our CSS on this. Then shadow LG. Let's have some shadow on this. Inside this, we are going to have a button of type button with class btn and btn main. Okay, and inside this I am going to have I class bx and bx plus, so it shows that plus icon, and then I'm going to have a span, and here I'll say shorten URL. All right, our button is ready. Now when we click on this button, then something should happen. Okay, so what should that be? That should be, we need to open our modal pub. All right, so here let's have one piece of state here. So we'll say private bool show link modal. All right, then on click of this button, we'll say @ on click, we will simply set this show link modal to true, and then here we'll simply have an if statement. Here we'll check if show link modal is true, we are going to open our modal, and in modal we are going to use our, what was that, the name of our shared component, short URL generation form. This we already have, right? Now the button is already there. So for this thing, if you go to our modal, on modal we have show footer property. We are going to use this because for this particular case we don't need this explicit footer, because for this we only have that one button, that is generate short URL, which is already a part of the short URL generator form. So we don't need a specific footer for this modal. All right, let's define the properties it needs. So title and on close. So on this we'll say title, this is going to be generate short URL, and then on close. On close, what we'll do, we'll simply say show link modal equals false. We'll set it to false so that it removes this thing from the page. And now looks like we are good. We can directly use this. But before that, let's add some classes to this, some CSS styling for this fab. So here inside this layout only, we'll say fab.razor.css, and we are going to add some CSS styling to this. All right. So for that, what we'll do, we'll make it position fixed. We'll have it on the right bottom. So we'll say bottom, let's say 25 pixel, and right 25 pixel. Shadow we already have. I guess that's all what we need. And let's have some Z index as well of 1000. Now we should be good. So save everything, and now we'll go to interactive main layout. After body, we'll say fab, which is this fab, and on this fab we will set render mode here. So we'll say render mode equals interactive auto, and now we should be good. If I run it, I should see this button. If I click on it, it should open the generate link modal. So here we are good, we don't have that. Now if we go to dashboard, here we have this short URL. You should see it now. All right. And if I go to my links, here also I have this. If I go to detail page, here also I have it. If I go back to home page, it is not here. My links, it is here. If I click on it, short URL generate form is here. Let's refresh this to remove this warning from Syncfusion. Cool. Shorten URL, we have this. We have this. Okay, this is a footer, the default footer. So we don't need this footer here, right? So let's go to the code and go to fab, and here on this modal we will set show footer to false. Save it. Let's try if hot reload works. No, it is not going to work, so stop debugging. Let's start it again. This time we should not see that footer because we are setting show footer to false. Let's go to dashboard and shorten URL. Now we are good. So we are not displaying the default footer of our modal pop-up, and this is fine. Shorten URL, everything is working fine. That default behavior. Let's use this. Shorten this URL. Short URL generated. We can copy it. This functionality was already there. We can close this. Here also we can close this, and now we are good. We can go to my links. We can come back to dashboard. Now we have 20 links. All right. Looks like this functionality is also done. Let's do this. Let's have some nice different UX for the short URL. So by default we will have this plus icon, and when we hover over it, then we'll display this shorten URL, this text. Okay, let's do this. So for this, what we'll do on this fab shadow LG, this shorten URL, this text, we will have some class on this span. So by default it will be hidden, so we'll use display none for this. So Bootstrap gives us one class, that is dnone, dnone, display none. So this will not be here. Now when we hover over this section, this button, then we'll remove this class, and when we hover out of this, then when we move mouse out from this, then it should again go back to dnone, display none. All right. So for this, what we'll do, we'll simply have a piece of state here. So we'll say private string fab btn class default d none. All right, and let's use this btn class. We'll use this here. Okay, now on this button we'll add other events. So we'll say on mouse over. On mouse over, we'll set this fab btn class to string.empty or maybe blank string. Now let's do this. String.empty. Okay, and on mouse out @on mouse out, we'll set it back. So here we'll say underscore fab btn class equals the d none. So save everything. Let's quickly try it out. So I'm stopping it. Let's run it again. All right, let's go to dashboard. Now we can see this is just plus icon. If we hover over it, you see when I'm taking mouse over this button, then it comes with shorten URL, and if I remove this, it simply goes back to plus. And click functionality, this is working same. All right. Cool. So looks like this is also done. And I guess we have achieved everything. Now there is only one piece which is missing. That is that footer part. We are not having a footer for this complete application. So let's quickly add a simple footer. Just simple footer, not any complex thing. So for that is going to be part of all the pages, each and every page. So we can have it on main layout. Let's go to main layout, which is in client layout, main layout, here only. We can create a separate component for this footer component, or we can have it directly here. For now, I am having it directly here. So here I'll say div class, let's say container, and on this I'll say empty3, and then I'm going to have div class row, and then inside this div class call 12, and in this we'll say text center. All right, and then text center, here I'm going to have a p with class, let's say m0, and then text center will move it to center. Here what we'll do, we'll say blazing URLs ampersand copy for that copyright sign, then at the rate date time dot now dot here, then I'm going to add a pipe, and then developed by, then I'm going to have my YouTube URL. So https www.youtube.com/@Abhay Prince. I'm having double at the rate because single at the rate is a special symbol for razor files. That's why adding double at the rate simply escapes that at the rate. And here I'll use my name, that is Abhay Prince, here like this, and let's wrap this Abhay Prince in one underline U. So save everything and let's see how it looks. Start. If you go to the very end, we can see this, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me move this a bit, so hopefully you can see it now. So blazing URLs developed by, this is, let's have some padding or margin from bottom. Okay, let's do this. So I'll go to this thing, and on this, instead of empty on this container, I'll use my, or maybe mt3 margin top 3, but mb2 margin bottom 2. Save it, try to hot reload. It is not going to work, so let's stop it and run it again. Okay, it is coming up. At the very bottom we can see this, we have some spacing from the bottom now, and we can click on it and it will navigate us to my YouTube page. Let's check it if we can see the same thing on internal admin pages. Here we have this. Then we can go to my links page. Here also I can see this. Then let's go to view details page, and here also I can see this, but I am not able to click on it. That's because the way this chart is rendered, maybe this is overlapping with this thing. So if we check it, if we try to click on it, we can't. So if we see this section, the chart is actually taking over this. So it is coming on top of this thing. So we need to move this footer to on top of this. So for that, what we can do, we can simply go to the very end and we can check where our footer is. Where is our footer? This is our footer. So on this we can have, let's say, z index 1. But now z index is not going to work because if we have not defined any position. So by default position static is there, so z index does not have any effect on this. So we need to have position fixed, absolute or relative for z index to work. We cannot have absolute, we cannot have fixed for this particular case, but we can have relative. So let's do this. Let's add position relative. And now if we see, we can click on it. Right? So let's add this position relative and z index 1 to overcome this issue. We can have footer class here, and then in this main layout.razor.css, here main layout.razor.css, in this we can say dot footer. Here we can have position relative and z index 1. Save it, save everything, and let's try to run it one more time. And with this, our complete application is done. We have achieved a lot in this, and I think this is the first video on YouTube using interactive auto render mode, which is using interactive auto render mode for entire application. So please show some love and support. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe my channel, and please add some comments so that there is some engagement and YouTube recommends this video to other developers as well, and I can have some motivation. So let's hard refresh couple of times so that everything is updated. We are here. We can click on this footer. Let's go to the dashboard. Here we have this footer. Yes. My links. We have this footer. Yes. View details. And here let's see if we can click on footer. Yes, we can click on this footer. All right. So with this, everything is done. So that's all for this project. We have this blazing URLs, a simple URL shortener service. All right. Do let me know in the comment if you like this video. Okay. And if you learned something new, or do you have, if you have any question or query or concern, we can discuss it in the comments. Alright, like this video, share this video, subscribe my channel. I'll be back soon with some other cool video. Till then, bye bye. Happy coding.